The big news in theme parks is that Epic Universe is opening to phenomenal reviews, and the Walt Disney World seems to have much to lose. They don't have an answer. But what are they going to do? Well, they've got the bulldozers out, the excavators, but instead of building new things, Disney First is going to bring many tears to many fans. They're tearing down the magic. They're destroying the beauty that Walt built. Hello folks and welcome back. We are here today to explain entertainment and specifically Walt Disney World Resort and what they are resorting to in order to try to take on Epic Universe. But let me tell you, these changes are unlikely to fly with audiences and could destroy Disney for decades to come. Not just the theme park, but rather the company because of how much the Walt Disney Company depends on Walt Disney World as the driving source of its majority profits. Folks, help us profit by clicking the like button, and we'll give you the news you need. Tomorrow's headlines now on the way. Jimbo Slice, love the name, at Jimmy and Fam, posts this on X and says, planning my last trip to Disney World with my kids for a very long time. They've gutted the resort perks. Animal Kingdom has so few rides, and the Dinoland retheme is meh. Studios is an IP nightmare with not that many rides, and they are ripping the heart out of Magic Kingdom. Talking about not only Frontierland, but also Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island. Save the Magic has this, says the Magic Kingdom thrives on its timelessness, blending nostalgia with a scenic atmosphere. Bulldozing the Rivers of America for an IP-based ride will date the park as intellectual properties fade in relevance over time. The river is immune to that, an appeal that doesn't rely on franchise popularity. A legendary Imagineer, Eddie Sato, who was key to the development and creation of Disneyland Paris, adds to this, I wonder if there would have been an outcry in 1958 when they announced removing the park-like Holiday Hill to erect a massive Swiss mountain, aka the, oh shoot, the word's escaping me. Help me out, everybody. Matterhorn. You know what's crazy? Maelstrom was the word that I couldn't get out of my head. No, that's Epcot. Anyway. Dwarfing the 77 castle behind it with screaming kids on sleds drowning out the Snow White wishing well. Having said that, I still think you can have both and the river should stay. But folks, that is not what is coming your way because guess what? Bulldozers are now on the scenes, we hear. The construction equipment is there and they are preparing to clear vast parts of Magic Kingdom and begin filling in the Rivers of America. They're also getting ready to destroy the Muppets Theater. All of this is happening at the same time that Epic is eating their lunch. And I just have a hunch that wiping out the magic that so many enjoy is not the way to get people to join you at the Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios. Disney is doubling down on the destruction of their parks when they have all the land they need to build, and yet that is not what they will be doing. The bulldozers are there. The reports are in. I'll get the article from WDW Magic up in just a minute, but before we do, Vash, I turn to you. What do you make of the idea that Disney World is going to be destroying much of their stuff at the same time that Epic is totally new and improved?
I don't really understand the reasoning right here because here's the thing. Your recent additions, if we can call them that, to the Disney parks have not been very well received, right? Communicore Hall, prime example, or Tiana's Bay Adventure, all of that. You can't compete in the modern game. You can't compete new ride for new ride when it comes to Universal Studios. So what do? You really do kind of have to lean into nostalgia, and I think that's the better play right here. This is why it was so bizarre that they would close the Muppet Vision 3D Theater, for example, right before Epic Universe opened. At least get one more summer out of it with everybody coming down to see Epic Universe, and maybe you get some visitation that way anyway. Be open and really hype up nostalgia rather than remove it at such a crucial time period with Epic Universe across the way. It's so absolutely bizarre. And I will say with that Holiday Hill reference there from Eddie Soto, I do find it interesting in the internet era that people react to everything. There's no question about that. But Holiday Hill was basically a mound of dirt, that was created from hollowing out the moat in front of Sleeping Castle right there. They didn't know where else to put dirt, so they put it right there, and then that eventually became the Matterhorn for sure. But in this way, this does so much. And I think Eddie understands this. He knows this, and he's making a joke there. But Rivers of America does so much for for creating a time and place that can't really be very easily viewed in other parts of the country, or maybe even other parts of the world, especially when you have a steamboat going across there. And it just really, it helps create an atmosphere that is, I think, invariably lost when you remove that, and especially when you replace it with, well, a cars-based attraction.
Erica, are you excited that the same people who brought you the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser are going to tear up 1/4 of Magic Kingdom?
No, not at all. My heart just sank hearing that because it's getting more real every day, and it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, especially when it finishes, to see what the actual response is going to be when it's complete, with people coming, not going. What the reality of it is going to be in the end. But it's devastating. They're taking Walt out of, the Magic Kingdom. That's the saddest part to me, is how they're just chiseling away at Walt himself.
I think it's going to be the end of them, honestly. I mean, I think that this is what is going to drive people to go to Epic even more. They think they've got a winning hand here, and I say this is just absolute. Well, it's a tragedy, to go back to that Scrabble word that everybody loves. Nolan, they're going to tear out 1/4 of the heart of Magic Kingdom. They're going to take out the beauty of the park. They're going to take out the water, and they're going to replace it with a off-brand Cars racer. I hate to be negative about these sorts of things, but from a base fundamental level, and recognizing that they can have all of this is a choice they're making, to tear out the Rivers of America, to tear out the Liberty Bell, to tear out Tom Sawyer Island. Like, this is a choice. They can have all these things. They're choosing to destroy what many people love. Nolan, I think they're choosing to lose to Epic, and I think investors should be furious.
They absolutely should, because you have to look at what's coming down the pipeline. What are they replacing Iconic with? They're replacing it with a diet version of Radiator Springs Racer, which was an amazing fast ride that was accurate to the movie. This is basically a dirt track with characters who don't even appear in the Cars universe. And Muppets is being replaced with a Monsters, Inc. land that is going to be just forgettable. Like, no one is demanding this. Monsters, Inc., I'm sorry, is an irrelevant franchise compared to, say, some other Pixar ventures out there. Nemo in the Park, that still makes sense, still pushes money. This is a complete failure of new ideas. If they were putting in a Sonic the Hedgehog or a Godzilla land or something, maybe there could be some justification of how they're going to compete with Epic. But this can't beat Mario.
No, that's a great point. The answer to Mario, the answer to How to Train Your Dragon, the answer to the monsters, the answer to the racers over there, the coaster that's so amazing. The answer is a dirt track filling in the Rivers of America. Jonas, help me make sense of it. Be devil's advocate. Be Josh D'Amaro's advocate, although I'm not calling him the devil. That's too far. But Jonas, explain to me, what is Disney thinking, so that the people out there watching the video right now can understand what it is they're doing, because clearly they have something that they think this makes, worthwhile.
I think that they believe that any water in the park at this point is just a maintenance sinkhole. And I don't think they like the fact that they have to resurface that area over and over and over again. I think they're letting the accountants make the decision for them. And they also know that they need new things. And they don't have any new ideas. They say they have all of these IPs that they could draw from, but their Star Wars land, not doing so hot. Their Marvel stuff, not doing so hot. So they're going back to what they think is tried and true. So they're going with Cars Land, and they have been told by social media, and social media is great about everything, never been wrong before, that Villains Land is the thing that they need to do. So they are only elected officials. They can't make decisions for themselves. They're being told it costs too much to run the Rivers of America. They're being told, well, you have to put in a Villains Land, and they just want to do it in the quickest way possible. And they see this giant river here, and it's a problem.
Well, the big problem
I think they're devoid of creativity, and if they were real storytellers, they could make Tom Sawyer Island interesting, or they could have replaced it with Tiana. They have nothing except destruction at this point.
They could have done Villains Land 10 years ago, and it would have been seen as revolutionary. The problem now is Villains Land, whenever they start, it's not going to come out for 10 more years. And by the time it does come out, it's going to look like a copy and paste ripoff, a sad second compared to what is an epic universe already with the monsters. So they don't have anything to compete with that. So they're just going to look like, oh yeah, well we're the knockoff version of that.
Right. Echo 3 is out here saying, you guys are far too generous. I was asked to play devil's advocate. I don't actually think they're making the right decisions here.
No.
Yeah, I put you in a bad spot there. I think they're trying to find a way to capitalize every square inch because they don't want to expand the footprint. They have all the land they need, but for whatever reason, they have such greed that they're not willing to increase the capacity, really. So they're going to keep it in the same area and not continue building out because that's more maintenance. And they don't want more maintenance. Please, please, no more maintenance, please. That's Disney.
Operating costs, no.
Well, it's costing them big time, and I think it's going to cost them the top spot in not only Central Florida and Orlando, but across the world as the leader in theme parks. Universal Studios, I think, in 2 years is going to be at their door and taking the lead. And folks, when it happens, remember, we were here the whole way, just like we told you with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Just like we told you at the battle in Florida with Ron DeSantis and the parental rights thing, we have been here consistently saying, don't do this. Don't do this. You're going to regret it. And folks, we'll bring the receipts of regret in just a few years. And it is time to put a bow on it, for this one, folks, is a gift to everybody who wants to know exactly what's going on in the entertainment industry. And we are so joyful that you were there to receive it. We hope that you had a great time. An attitude of gratitude on this channel every single time you decide to spend time with us. As we get ready to say goodbye, we only ask a few simple things. Click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, and stick it to those algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, so waste not yours. And folks, as you get ready to head out that door, do you have a place on social media that you love to share this sort of thing? Hey, you can make this YouTube video sing by putting it out there for your friends, your family, and for those weirdos who just won't leave you alone. Folks, until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Hey, Floral, guess what?
You put a fork in Pro's microwave again.
No, that was yesterday.
I don't know that what.
Oh, I've decided to give up on torturing Jonas.
What? Why? In the same way the cat sleeps like 20 hours a day, that was like your purpose.
I know, but I've decided there's bigger fish to fry.
Okay.
Like Lorne. I mean, think about it. Everybody loves him. He's a fan favorite, and frankly, he has almost no weaknesses I can find. Except that he's really smart.
So, you want to annoy the one panelist without a single flaw. Because he's smart.
Yeah, like that winged statue at that fancy Paris museum thingy. I want to break the one thing that everyone loves most.
So, kind of like the opposite of Rachel Zegler.
Yeah, exactly. And I get to see her all the time at family reunions anyway.
You get to see Rachel Zegler?
Yeah. She's a total troll. Lives under a bridge, harasses billy goats, the whole 9 yards.
It all makes sense now.
Speaking of which, maybe she'll get me. Okay, I'm gonna call her on my. I'm gonna call her and see if she'll be in the next Indiana Jones. She should be the next Indiana Jones. That'll totally destroy Lord. He loves Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's cruel.
Hey, Rach, I've got a cool idea for you that involves a whip and snakes.
I love that description. It's perfect.
I know, right? Weird, as we always say.